Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe Jr., Executive Director, Rights of Youth and Disability International, and Osanye Chire Nimapa, UPSA. Alhaji Nazir Mohammed, Hasi. Na we minua pa nye boni aya okoshishishi vichire hodimia ko ye minua preko pe tade e hye na no pe kwa me sure pass ye de man so famre me but wafa menka hwe nyame wo ho Alayi Naziru
Nana
Alayi
last week won betra ha ama metie chama no kakan zembi na beba na oyana beka church amanze na betina ha ifi ha me ntimi e ma meye ejuma se na sefata because na no minjiri na me ba no me ka chi obi anso se ifi ntokwa ye mfa mba ejuma mu uhun se ejuma ntokwa no ntumi ho wa shada akotam obike Honorable PK, and Dr. Camilla, Abba, so we may do one of my own. If you have bed and a bed, and you move, me who move, obeying a check it, telling you dinner. That's so. It's a pass will be freedom. And this I'll catch you because also good in the month. So, yes, I'm not to say, we are sitting up and we say, maybe any papa. Na all the to the beer was a depend ni hu ti betre na won kuma nguana na won kuma nguana wa dia na me fa na me so be use a na my ebon
na say ofa baako second one say odbrem da ofa na wa fa na wa san fa dey ada
na say wo bebre nti say no
me wa him bebre aye jabon na wo ye me na ye fe Alaji, good to see you.
Thank you na
let us say
Nabenado.
And I it saying.
Alhamdulillah, ya nemu a ye bo ejumadin. Am say nia ye ni edaso ne na say ni won say ye mass registration ni nyina no na nkwala enka ho for several reasons.
Yeah.
Na say am say ye ni National Health Insurance for akabu mu a yebedi say jumano ama ya start kra.
Okay.
From 5 to 0 da ya wo akwara na yebetimi aye Ghana card amano.
Okay.
Sani ebeya sa wontu me best sami age me best sami di me best sami bri no a ye na no yebetimi esi ano preko. Ezan say da ya be wo na processes na yebeye no say birth and deaths for no issue certificate ma opet na just say also obetimenya Ghana card.
Okay.
Ya yenhye awo bebre to even pin ya venze enkwala no to ma menu a owo no ni pin no can be connected because akwala bia de ye ni minimame e bia de papa no na ebeba ni mame no wo no de no wo no bia ni say asibesiri mame ni. So when we pin that and ensure say akwala no ekonim na initially kura no wo ye kwala no a register na ye the same card and the features na card no so quite different.
Okay.
But say juma no ye fiti prekope card na with the embedded chips na other use no and one e de bema enkwala no nti em say yeah arrangement no with primary schools ne keka ho ne hospitals nti anche bia wo kwala ewo primary school ne keka ho nti a parent no ema waso te say bia da NI for no ebeba wo school na wo pese parents so beka ho a obetimi ama omo ate.
Okay.
Na obiara ba na yebusu ye ejuma ne se na be Ghana fo nyina e wo se Ghana fo nyina so ete ase se womu enye Ghana fo womu so ba esan se eyemra se obi biara ebeye bibi wo banka e wo so nya identification and identification also and e ato National Identification Authority for nsem enti ye enkwara anase onye Ghana ni kura no a ye wo card a won so ye de mawo and also the same ECOWAS card. Name Unsure demo no say wo ye Ghana ni. Name ejuma wo pese wo ye nyina bi biara ye hia Ghana card di aye no. Won so wo ho kwan say wo de no ebeye. As I say you are duly recognized within the states. Ama ye wo data. Na ye ko ye ni mo mesre fie wo mo rent dan no. Emre aso say before ode obi ebetu fie no. Bon hu body na hwese owo Ghana card na o hwese owo Ghana card nso a enye say wo hu card na na tese owo Ghana card bi ye wo bibi a friend verification process into sa cards na the bema no needs to be verified and confirmed say the data and a record na also card no so truly reflective with what is with the NIA data.
How do you verify?
A verification no were various verification devices all contact NIA obetumi any devices be and the same verification in our bank yen can't tell yourself on to be so and be because you use both facial any other biometric data no obehun say ukwo bank na nipa ni gina ho na obo udin ana be picture na wo hwe no verify and verify a bank nipa na oye juma bank ro say yes asime see amene kasa no you be a friend KYC know your customer and I say know whoever you are dealing with into hu ya no say oh honorable OPK na ono ankasa na gina han because picture na you first say
a poppy up no as a result of say obegina ho na picture no ho na wa picture very simple.
And also be in terms of curbing crime. The major issue. We say yako ready BB. You say one more ba hono ya other West African nationals. And he say upisa Ghana card no answer what the what diamo bia. One kasa wo boa because nipa no was some criminal background answer or criminal intent bia. With that registration now also confirming a Ghana card. VBAC pe also betimi ama akatre Ghana card for so wasimisia or betina be fear and the pin number ni police for also betimi access no na bibia no aye pepe pema yetumi akwetia crime in general.
But that's it. Honorable OPK.
Yeah, kana na
marching.
Yenya.
Na I want to say.
Huna mi hu wache.
I said your own family.
Oh, wow, true. Me ami name.
Own family.
Me ami name. Me too new radio so cry na jete me hu mo nyina so.
Ah, she na no be family hu.
But
na no be family hu.
Em say eneno me ni agi bebre say Masan ba Peace FM studio ha. Na onim say wo school no na ye nyina ye university de. Na ye mpenifo ani ye show me nim ba ko pa ya Kabila. It is onina betina radio so de na je say Shishani, many as soon as you there, and you know, you'll be born in your today.
And Namaka, what time more banner, or Peso Bob couldn't talk about
my bomb basso, a Juma Moso, a Twasso, and I. Just to say, sir, this whole registration of kids, no, I mean, it's a novelty, and yeah, the Fufra, Abba, Adia, Swaye. In fact, I can tell you, sir, this whole plan, registering kids from birth, was launched somewhere in March 2024. Now, just this September, and your TSA, and I force a process system. No, now, almost you be a friend and re-rolling out of the whole process. It's always good. Governance is continuous. IT systems, so there, we are always looking for the best. Na menyini say the NIA President Kufuor envision here established here somewhere in 2007 now you're ruling out and you do some then 2006 there's been some major improvements along the lines major improvements along the lines. Now the internal business is a verification process. There has to be a system where everybody can verify everybody, not really giving much details. For instance, Nancy Ami called South Africa. Say, oh, you're a taxi driver, and also you're Uber driver, Krana Ura Hotel Yard. You show a card kita registration card kita any driver's license any number plate it me cry verify car ukita no ti se nipa no cry nipa boy ni na ora hotel ni mo just by mere verification no it me hunu identity it me track you say we boni bia I mean I'm wondering how our landlords are would draw a work room as you know we expect them to go and verify at NIA mo office here wo you have anything shashi debi obeko bia no ne about 10 crown abonten ho aboma na obi baba give me rent abetua say 200 cedis a month inti I mean ko salary tin just to verify the person our brother me ji say scanner be the gum botomo a esiwa but we are doing that to also protect the peace of this country to protect the security of the nation and that is why for me feel say a mobile app be crown am be develop it and I say a simple USSD code be just to verify say me born money to mo nipa no osini dinde Nasiru te me born na money to mo no indeed Nasiru na buy just to verify nya fe na also dey nsa ko si machine be so no dey nim ko kire be just to verify so we can even have very innovative ways of doing this. Kromo say district be anywhere any police station so the NIA and the police authorities and even rent control can have a certain agreement so we be rental dan the only answer be cause to police station now a corner ode ne Ghana card na ko kire just for the person to be verified and say ni pay ene oti sa area ha say ya say that be BBC we are easily able to identify the residents and you know me bona baso e waduma omoye no and how they are collaborating with the NHI system no to ensure that we are able to register a lot more but it's not a novelty. They started March 4, 2014, 2024, and I think it's important to put that on record.
I agree with you very well, but the issue is okay, say na make catch say processes na wo ho and na ya sesana kakra because cards no and the issue the identity card no because of the embedded chips no say no ya say they be ya card from mankwala all buy ya ma card with your chip I know na odi benyi adi biara mpanyifo card na timi ye no enkwala card no so ebetimi aye I mean that's the difference and it's investment and yes serious investment sene be ya obiara obi in tandem and devices no kan no ebit is phone
no but the all can on say for instance me metias is here na me share ebia Kabila me ne Kabila be transaction me se me pay ne Ghana card to authenticate you bet me develop USSD code be say okay be me boss *700 na me bought the Ghana card number na share hwa details of that should pop up on say DVL for be
yeah
say o pese wo hwe nipa no na insurance omo USSD code ni bia obo a obema car cry insure including car no color cry eka ho also details I think that's what OPK is and
it's not a bad idea and car nyoma ye no but on say mra any nyoma fa data protection so ho eka yeduma na ye no yenti ye say oh yes such a way say because se me je data na under the data protection law and this medema obia I was say your pep crime so at such code no so will not be for abuse na obi check obi unnecessarily in the account but we have layers of information with the data no aye wo no obi wo ho a ne o hia ne yes or no card no aye authentic na yes and one no so all those things we can put it together. It's a very good suggestion.
Give it a thought.
So yeah they be
aluta continua
Toria Aseta.
You are my brother
for life.
Nana onim enyum bia those days.
Papa oba hadwin na. Obige. Ye ni adaje.
Kabila nyabutre.
Kadna.
Nyabutre.
We wish you success.
So Odo Musuba wa parliament raba Odo Musuba wa parliament raba
Kabila ore visa na ne campaign team na me ka ho ore visa na me
now go
Kabila for
news is there
Kabila for news president Charlie,
so election there is historical. That election is historic.
Charlie, we've come a long way, Charlie. Aluta.
Yedanya miase. The odi etwa bedri. The way nim na doso. Men ananum say srewenya. Said the medical pouch or dada no. Me bonu tew na mesrew. Na no brada. Nkomo a Alhaji Nasiru lie. Ene minua the honorable member of parliament from Prior so almost say ye kan na ye de daison no ho asida kese ema mampani dada his excellency John Ajikunkufor
Bosompra Ajikunkufor
na ninya mu no eye oman enkanko na de ya me dane say metumi agina we so aka say ya man yosem de minua Nasiru Kanyi as deputy head of National Identification Authority,
deputy executive director.
Etoda ya man yosem a achinyeje bam no yete so a ebeboaye if you say omo kase ya na me hwe back to ade no. The act was passed in 2006, National Identification Authority Act 2006 Act 707 no. And the following 2 years register no and all can want you pass here no the National Identity Register Act 2008 Act 750 na regulation a ye de be ye register no ye pass here no 2012 the National Identity Register Regulation 2012 LI 2111 eno na o can say Yemma National Identity Register no emmeye the reference
source
document for any registration purpose in Ghana. Enti enye National Health Insurance nkwa enye DVL nkwa Electoral Commission particularly. And at the time I was a key member of about 3 committees IPAC and I were working on the seamless transfer of Ghana for about 18 years onto the National Voter Register. Mesre minua Nasiru. Say money Electoral Commission for and get together. Na mo akwan ye befa so a afibi beso a yes ye kwakọ ye inter ye friend say limited registration. Ye mani ntwam nko. Sebe ya obi a obedi mfie du wotwe pepepe na NIA4 Moma send information on my Electoral Commission. Na Electoral Commission for trust any panel because omo on address. Say hey, Kwabena Bonfe ba Kwabena Bonfe. What did you do what bra? Na beje adansi bia be mo watimi aye den ato aba. Ye ka digitalism a de ye ka no no. Na me ka no sa no na ne mesa bo papa ba so say e na no brada na ye ne pani ye wo fa kosi part on any group. Omo ye the 80th anniversary celebration of the historic Faith Pan-African Congress in Manchester, UK. Sa Congress na se na abibremu ampanifo a omuba akire ya de Kwame Nkrumah ona na ye the organizing secretary Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Akwaje Obafemi Awolowo of Nigeria ene Jaja Wachukunom Du Bois W.E.B. Du Bois ena George Padmonom womu ekohia ya womu ba bibremu beboa ma sebi yenya yehu fa hodie na papa ka asem bi a wo honom a me saka ni speech nti me pese me kan nsem o kan ni kakra bi cardinal o say the solution to this in fact okasa for the theme in 1945 say the theme at the time was challenge to colonial powers. And I can say the challenge today is to ourselves and not to any external aggressor. And I can say the solution to this challenge must be to envision and achieve a borderless continent to facilitate trade, economics, infrastructure necessities, finance, communication, agriculture, energy and cultural values for the needed economies of scale to attract investment and value addition. Today, the challenge is to ourselves and not to any external aggressor. Now say, fortunately, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, This conference is taking place at a time when in the next 2 decades, Africa will constitute about a quarter of the entire world population, with most of its people being youthful and well educated, who have mastered the digital and related technologies needed for the rapid transformation of the world. Additionally, Africa is second to none in its endowment of natural resources. Now, I believe that it is not for nothing that Africa sits at the geographic center of the world. Africa, within the strategic geographic arrangement of the continents, is central. Europe to the north, the Americas to the west, and Asia to the east. These strategic advantages place the continent in a position to become the central market of the world. To realize this, however, the continent must equip itself with meritorious and accountable leadership, which is hallmarked with highly informed and strategic negotiating skills. Distinguished audience, to realize this envisioned Africa, its people must communicate and know each other across the board and the strategic advantages they have, to stimulate and strengthen the confidence that must be in place in Africa's relations with the rest of the world. Towards this objective, a few individuals and I have been championing a project called the Africa Public Interest Media Initiative, APIMI. The singular object of this project is to use highly professional media tools, incorporating the new technologies on a sustained basis to arouse the people to the stated strategic advantages of the continent from a borderless standpoint, bottom up. This way, the people's involvement with their governments will become real, in sync with the Manchester vision of 1945. Cardinal, Papa, technologies are can was ya ogusoka. Ta ye so ya nananum so ye say abibrem ye beka bom ni atena se na ya ko okonkro apre ye die ama ye ho ani daachi ma no ye de technology ya ebeyeyi nti ye ma ye ni nku ho enti mesre say ye behwe na ye de ose ayoyo na ye tie papa na futu ode ma ye Cardinal na me de na poso ECOWAS ruling on former CJ aye tew de di kan o hwe de course wo ECOWAS court na injunction application interlocutory injunction application bi e wo hono mu a CJ dada nansem da so konkon ho if you say ye mu binu fi se kwan ya fa so yi na di no antwa yi enti o ka se enka kwan ya ye fa so yi na di no ye nsonso na no wo ECOWAS parliament ECOWAS court ho but enam de na mampani ene na futufo ayenti no na omo ahu se enukra de hu hia biom enti omo atro se nka ye ntwensan na court no ka se wo ma bo sa interlocutory injunction application no omo abo agu enti na nya asem fofo de course wo biom na mesre minua kuma deputy attorney general
Sremsai.
Yes. My brother, you are now the second leader of the bar. Oh, communicating on social media, you're very careful. And somehow would be 2 years after that ruling, and that day sitting, you were not wholly true to the facts. Modiko say ECOWAS court no need jurisdiction onia hoden say obetie sa asem no ena nkrobo amode koye no court hweye otie maame tokonu lawyers no ka say asem be na mukin ye wo ho kwan enti ye betie enti ye hyemo na dodo say momfa mano de sem anasa no yi a mo wode ma maame na asem a kwadu ode abom no momfa mra de to subio ensemo ana maame no de aba no mo say ye ni nyina so court say da bi e asemo a ye di ye wa bom kwadu ankasa enti asem no kanfu ano alaji and this one me there's no shame in conceding when your thoughts, and I say your conscience is clear and innocent, and it's about nation building. Why? The woman feels, and some of us feel. Census is in court right now. I will Supreme Court. You near some way. And so my dear Mopa Samuye. Oh, Bobia Sumasa Branu soon. And young Monkwa Muntiankebe Jamamo. But make any chirima. I won't so. So we will not just let it pass. Let the court decide. The court can even decide. So Becca say, hey, the more in Chino, they decided earlier, no, and I. But let that be the decision of the court, and let posterity come to judge them. Because judgment no omo yeni na no. But is na CJ. Me uncle, madam was so. Ogaze operation be 70 years old that obebarona no. You see, I'm sorry. The life we live in and our African worldview. Unko udi da ho udi be kan wo ma udi be kan nananom udi be kan nana kanso anom meti hai I still carry on nsemo a me nana kofidi o oyeye ema bono ahafo man oye ma mo man anadaga man oye ma eye friends when she east and I travel to Bole. I carry it. Me papa JK Bonfe, he's alive. Bro, koye DC, beye MC, ewo Kintampo. Me, I didn't join his party. Me kwa corporate parliament 2012. Ewo CPP dimo. Ne papa party. No MPP. People visited my father's goodness and what they felt was bad about him. No, on me. And CJ, and that worldview, I beg to tell you, say, na chomako o manne o nananom are going to first experience it. Then about the issues at hand, no, and the medical canon. Say a number of them no is similar to the Supreme Court. Nyamiadum, after all the delay tactics by the Attorney General's office, say Ombe responded to young application any issues are stating no. Omo echo siki leave and now chimi say court to mom, they had abused the process, abused their office. But open year, obre.
And to think about this, say, one of the petitions against Mami Tokonu is that cases back court were quite or fast or different case, no, a baby strong.
Cardinal, me, I will have time with you on platform on the issues. But say me an interested party. As the leader of Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems are a Supreme Court currently. But what I'm saying is that, you know, I'm the draft about Yahoo draft, you know, I'm hoping say and now what we and a limited period now Supreme Court the mono a best soon say one be filing. You're trying almost responses. Now you want additional memorandum bia, yes, so yet the accord. I'm a Supreme Court and you're quite a disaster. But I will tell you this. You see, Omana Yachitrino, you were Bakosam, and you were and you were Hachi. There are decisions of the Supreme Court. I am over 10 years. I am Jinaso, any Amamrana Kasa, Nsampa Waka, Yenimse, Mampani, Council of State, any committee no yen, Womuti Poto. Womuti Poto, and even the Supreme Court. And in denying us the interlocutory injunction, say, Sadia na womo yen womo so kopim say, ye be decide the case no. We are happy. At least Justice Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu. And Asaridaku. In the Asefo case, Mensah Bonsu. In the census case, Asaridaku agreed with us. Say, grati interlocutory injunction no. So nanya potosa injunction no one peso. Ye case nan kasa de ye mungwi. And we are hoping that it will travel the full course. Not to yamfo. Now my additure. The last point I want to make on this my disappointment with Minority 4 in boycotting the vetting of your friend say Justice Bafuboni. And I want to plead with the minority leader. Or per time be you mighty minority me boy. You don't have the numbers. So your might can only be in the quality of your voice, your research, and not how loud
scrutiny
you shout. No. Me, fortunately or unfortunately for me, I'm a student of minority. By nature's design, I happen to be born as the only boy among females. 4 of them. Within the ethnic arrangement of Guans, Guans, no, yeah, minority of Ghana.
Yeah, time called Guans.
That would have minority, no. Me pacho. The point I'm making is that minority leader, any minority for, may mamu 2 reference materials. The Lion of the Senate, how Ted Kennedy rallied Democrats in a GOP Congress. A second book, Understanding Defeat, how to recover from a loss in battle to gain victory in the war. Read them and they will help you. Namo peso among we adam a few book or try by Nkrumah's side, the labor and the wounds. Then advise him.
I don't know.
Mami, can you have a time to respond? This was the best opportunity to have confronted Justice Bafuboni with points of law to get his philosophy behind how he gave judgment and now ruling on some of the things at the heart of the attempt to replace Justice Tokono. But my view, no. And my view does not constitute, your friend saying, the verdict on you. However, if you listen to me, it may be of guide. And now, midi MPP for primaries, number 2 for say. The MPP between 1992, 2000, 2001, 2008 wasn't the same MPP we saw thereafter and the MPP we see today. And Yaminkwana America, one kasa research documents be a mensaka and I'm going through my sources. Munim say ma drifted from values. Munim say ma lose mu constituencies be a natural. Think about how to reconnect. Namuma mra peri yo any pete mu ye niema ye eni mo nim kan. Bibia ni hon mo aye de say de wa ye pen ubetimi asan akoye bium enti eya futusem.
Let me move on, Kabila.
Me wie no na madwane akọ budget. Me de say yaye allocations be they are particularly persons with disability, at least at tertiary level. Na de me de kra ne say call bia yesre ye mampanim say otie ye shutu MP share or a friend say the disability share of the disassembly common fund no from 3 to 5%. Ye can say no na ye bo mampani ko for abaso say o initiative sa de no na ye 2%. Na ye bo mampani dada akofo ado abaso say o maso 2018 edi free 2 edi call 3% 2018 2019 na sida kese na in percentage wise no that increase was about 50%. The President Mahama in nominal terms is 2%, but it's about a lesser number of percentage of about 40 something 47%. Whatever it is, no, a significant. Say yenya sadie no. Na yemmo modern say legislative instrument yenya Disability Act no. Company, I believe there's a lot we can share. I mentioned to you there's a lot that scholarship is pointing to. And baku bi so onu mu a o ka say yishia no me de be ma me fan tu from mu ansa say be ya so be ya
ma say Kabila me da say
da me kan ho
ami o ma ye nyina ahoden na o ma ye nkwatenten so na ye fan ko alaji na zero issues a ewo anima no pay ECOWAS court ne ho nsem wo ha MPP asem de ndie menye sure say wo be pese wo be say wa hoden wo ho budget statement ene emu nsem ni nyina e wa ase in the next 15 minutes mpese metie ba bia o de wa badwen kire befa.
Yo, Nana, Yadin Chair Sumbo, Ebema, etie for Niashafo nyina. Even before I come to that, Nana will say teacher for be 6,249. I found with Juma in 2024. One more itria womunina no ebeka 6,249. Namia adumoa Ministry of Education. Edi abetujwa say Ministry of Finance amount clearance say 6,241 womu nyina no omombeje wo musika yentwe a wo sensa yefa wo mujuma. So I think it's a good news for teachers. We Bibiana, I'm saying more than so account, so be an yentem now within a specific period. Which me I the necessary documentation Bema November salary Ukrano anka Wamosa Abakabi. So ya da binance say OTA teacher for esufre. The issue of ECOWAS ruling ne former CJ Gertrude Tokono. Me can be and I'll repeat it again. In this whole exercise, obie ni wa or the judiciary ni a twitchy form as saying the former CJ and Kasa Gertrude Tokono. The New in Samoa Wakeka and in this whole processes, you know, bibia media mame bring kakra. Ninti America say I can give you a typical example. Nana. When Gertrude Tokono was the Chief Justice, cases don't know or empanel judges are be to me judge women pen war case anymore. As I said, me suspect say obediate ya.
As my can
Obi Pajo. Let me have your time.
Obediate ya me.
Mr.
Na amanfo can huns and some one more supported one more supported na akoyen some gumra to the bia court na ankasa timete na say ka say de bi woni hu kwan say obedetermine judge obedi wasema ma ene ne yakeka ho. Justice Tokono ankasa beto me fi say that attempt indictment on the judiciary. Now ono ankasa in this case etu sana mo no bi eka kire yen ma yen nyina hu say ono de a judge simesia all to the case so na all can investigation ono onjinindi enti say Chief Justice ankasa be ka kire say our judges award the court a onju omundia then outsiders judges na eji. That is a fundamental question. Me that is a fundamental ABCD question. Maybe sabe ho. Say ono ankasa etumetu sana one way. I mean, what indictment again is left for obia obetimi aka bibia fa a judge for. And throughout the process, Nana, maybe sir Kabila attempted to clarify the issue. Then a yede koye. Then na yenso yeje so asama ode koye ne then na yeje so ne yekeka ho. Clearly eda ho. But me kura no beti hesisi ayi. Nana me sre me busa. When documentation and answer publication be a free ECOWAS court stating clearly these positions are Tokono ne team afa. When have you seen any in all the publication we have seen so far? Memi hubi. Oh, okay. Memi hubi. Now, so one who be so na me busa say, say 10 million compensation or catch and say or per compensation for moral and reputational damage. Na ya sign so a hot process na yedi ni free officer. Na me busa say enti say ye investigation. Na ye say ye be no Peace FM. Peace FM amanfo te ho. A enye bibia ye be ka say I mean something outside the bar. Na ye koye investigation wo ho a. Na to say ye tia wo fa ahodie so. Reputational damage no. Say ye investigation. Now constitution stipulates explicitly say it should be in camera. Now also what the oyere okunu ene womba ebe kosa meeting no a eno na say yetia wo fa ahudie so ya damage your reputation. I mean those are the questions I'm beginning to ask. And besides that, the processes itself are explicitly defined by the constitution. And yet the first time AC wo man Ghana ni o man panyi Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo apreso em say obi nso de sa petition we koy against the same Gertrude to the former CJ. Now, petition or the choir, no, Omanpenny Senior John Damani Mahama, no, and so at the Command Council of State as prescribed by the Constitution. And the Council of State to forecast or Modo Moon and as somebody else a Mokoy. John Damani Mahama so the Nidia Command Council of States. I'm a Council of State can say Bibium. I was say yes, and no more twasso, a yes, Anche Moon. Inti infa and a Pahudia, walk at them say Yatiaso, a freeba. Say, we are Chief Justice and Time and do us a war court. And I saying, I mean, that is what I'm beginning to struggle to understand. But you see, media and someone, Yenino, ye canon nano. Mejidi say baby I was is here. Asem de na asemuko. Say ECOWAS court agya tumu say ontumi ensi aban no ho kwan say onto aso ye ne nyoma na obetimi adi Chief Justice Foforo Abba based on the investigation ayaye any nyoma ECOWAS court say omuntumi ensi o president ne kwan say the injunction what say or injuncted precedent, you know, from proceeding with appointment of new justice.
From the avoidance of doubt, for the avoidance of doubt, the court Nasimo kind say, Mami Tokonu ba court ho in July.
Yeah.
And all catch a court and say, Common Sipwa Mine Committee no crime from carrying out a human
investigation. Yeah.
However, Napua Mine Committee National Jumasi in May. Until the court says that Mami Nanga sent me improve say at the end of the buy that agent. And at the time now no be invoke jurisdiction of the court no. Na Puaman committee na in the Juma wi. Tell Juma committee na ye wi say oba say unstoppable na enye yie sa. And two, na Mami lawyers Nanga san so atwa kwa court no say okay. They came under the say munsi we mu kwan but Juma no kra o ma ye wi. Enti enya something they will want to pursue.
Correct.
It's a hot court no can say because my men anka sent me with that agency no the buy anything no or my boss part no egu. So it was not like the court say
in America the halting of her removal no court no agiantum.
No.
Correct. Enti ejuma no John the man Mahama ye no even the ECOWAS court the parliament ye investigative committee ni nyina no court no entumi enya bibi anka say enye mra kwan so enye bibia eye say yatia mrabi.
Perhaps because the court has not gone into the nitty-gritties of the matter.
And I say
when year on that
you want go through the nitty-gritty of the matter no omo na ye this case in koma on Puaman committee yes I so the court or ye omo na ye the nitty-gritty ni dey akoma om and omo edi asam na ma yate ase say justice to kono cannot continue to hold office am I as some of justice Foforo Abba enti me if you should ask me I advise say Yamame get through to Kono. Say, somebody now some just like many other things. Basic issues no senate no. Eye bibia obetimi enya bibi efrimu. Esan say bibia to chima ama Ghana fo nyina ehu ama ye di hu asem ama ye di akosi ebieye. Enti whatever she wants to continue doing no me say a further damage to an institution or no ankasa head here emrebi etwemu. Now the issue of economy nana me cuts dey bia say metie most of the debate Ghana for no bebre debate na otie womo ya aligned to the MPP no debate for mo dey ba say na IMF insisa no any IMF for no e wa han ntina ma economy na ejina ne ne ekeka ho. Intina Mebisa said, if indeed this is the case, say IMF for one kasa mo be katre mrebi etwemu ene nam our parliament e wo bibia kasa momo nkwa IMF nden kwa IMF ochina ama ene ameno wo kasa mo nsamba ye from day amokwa IMF no obi eni from the president e go pem the last ya fenzai police state agent obi antimi be gira ye ni mo katre say ye na kan so yesere mo mfanche efi say ya yeboni ni nyina mo ntumi nka nkire mo anso na mo ka kire say mo mfa economy enkoma sa nkwala bia ebeka jom sa IMF nkwala be betina ha ne ne keka ho mo ana mo kan you've not apologized na afi dia economy ni ye a mo ka kire nse IMF fo na aye ema economy ni ye ekoye ndi aban no enye bibia na maka kire nse mo di Ghana fo abro yi because emra na economy no sinki aye ka kire mo se mo kwa IMF sa IMF betimi aye bibi man na ye hunu sansunsunsun yan we ma Ghana fo nyina ho towo mu no na mo di Ghana fo abro kese because those were your position. Catchers IMF any solution. Into say net who progress are. I mean, the ordinary Ghanaian is there to judge for himself. Now we officers say IMF na ya buy no initiative na mbodi a na nka wo se mo kwa IMF da na Ghana fo hu ntom. Sana ne me no ka say na essence economy ejina na bibia akoso toti. Mabo teacher for the ama. Yemma ene nam free SHS wonte se akwala bi yare wonte se obi akofa ne ba wonte se yese obi akodu ho a onya empa enda so. I mean it is
empa den dey atobo kakra
mento me bo say akwala bi wo ho a we free school mo say wonya mpa
baby my just one school
yeah
cause St. Martin's
good.
It's home here.
Yeah.
Cause St. Martin's.
Yeah.
Now correct empa situation.
Good. Now
and to what do we buy in American way?
That is very good.
Remember?
Yeah.
Who be parents do mama call St. Martin this year? Yeah. Many of them at Tomba.
Nana. This whole issue we're walking. One more Tompa no. And kwala omu school asembie ni hu ana say omu ofi omu school na omu school na ya betimi atom pa ma na yeyi na nkwala na ko school no adenti na bre bi etwem no wo mu atom pa na ma nkwala na nko because baby kura ya de mpa na besi e bi di ho. Those are the issue me the akwala bi ko Accra High School
mente ho na se papa
na emra na free SHS ya starting the na nsemo afefa ho ba no mesre me bisa se wukura mpa kura na okoto se akwara ne chop box kura no ye de to bathroom ena ya parki e wo bathroom na ya ma nkwala ba chop box ne trunk wo de mpa kwa nkwala no o de beto hin kana me come tell say today clearly from the economy economic policies na buy no aye any promises are abane de ato forma or they solve problem. What the number of events expansions are yebe with school no more? It's unprecedented.
Mobile for this academic year no. Must see enough facilities they can't all know to the extent say San Colana no do omo chobos na dey go bathroom no. And no manya baby DC.
Yeah,
what you are saying.
Yeah, and ye gusukra ACB come. Because yeah adjustment. I can give you a typical example of the Accra Higher. Me call witness say Akwala be ne call here no. So I witnessed it. Yeah, quiet. Womo say womo boarding no. Aye man nkwala na ye de bae no. Ebru nkwala no na womo ankasa request here especially for the boarding. So now they have to be innovative. Then womo be what halls are na ebia obi enim anase womo eye sub completed. Womo bo womo body complete. Ama ye de nkwala no ebi ekogu ho ama mo to me observe what ebia yesi ewie ehia some touches and I say na obi na ebi etim na ebia previous no we use for dining hall enti say nkwala na bedoso no ye betimi a convert ho to dormitory enti sa dormitory na we convert into by almost you have to improve the situation barricades bi wo ho any painting ni nyoma I also wo ye no womutimi ye ama omo absorb nkwala ni nyina ma me no wo kasa nkwala ni nyina egu school. I witnessed this myself at Accra High. Mebo headmistress no abaso on the initiative she took because that was what I witnessed myself. Na ye ko ye nim no enye no nko our ye say NHIS National Health Insurance any a car na e wo ho any send a nyoma esi ko ho ene me ne wo ekase yesan say economy no ya yetumi ahwe so yie no almost so enya ho mfaso ama obi biara sika a wo say ekọ ne ho no ekọ ne nchen wo for every aspect of our life every bibi biara ye be here eye mpuntu abeboa ma yenso ye kanko ebe ye ntamne ne yekeka ho ni nyina no wo say aban no hyehyeye na oye no eboa sa economy no ama obia ho ahare no wo basa ye ka dollar ni sika nsansam ho a me de ne me de kese wo mukura no say ne statistics are yedi tudwa wo hwe statistics government statistician any statistics busom bia mo de betudwa no a utumi hu no say bibi koso ma progress ba all the indices to the extent the say ne ye catch rain by no less an institution like by the Ghana Statistics Ghana Statistical Service yen to me and stabilize this city no. So indeed Nacham said this stabilization is not artificial bibia every ejumadin ya because today we are also seeing that our exports kesiesen nyoma no ye kraba ye manimu. If all these are available and yami wanwa say woko international rating Fitch ni yakeka ho wo moyi yen every bibia na ye wo e de yen ye junk status no flag bearership nana makasa asem we flag bearership nana makasa asem we e wo bibi na mamenka wa hanso and I'm standing on my statement say the MPP election here one internal election if there's somebody to watch na mente say amanfo bebre ehwe sa nipa no Brian Champo nana I know for sure me ndam fufu obi a mennim ejuma wo mo ye san krofo no e ka kire me say Brian Champo a contact wo
Obige account.
Oh, na Obige also Brian.
Yeah, campaign manager.
Brian. My same case. It's a bit of crack up a But you see, the reason why I'm saying so is that many researchers beer. Minimum juma waye ama I will work within this country. Technocrats ankaza. Many one more kasa omuti make catch say Brian I contacted him Apple services. And what enemy said this guy, the gentleman is up for something different. I had the impression long before say it will be difficult to say a election we now I catch him say Baumia and Winnie. I'll be very much surprised. But the way Brian Champo campaign, I am now beginning to revise my note to say Minjindi say there can be a one-off election for the 31st January election.
One-off election,
say there is a possibility of a rerun.
Okay, all right.
There is a possibility of a rerun, knowing very well what Brian is doing. And indeed, now I'm not saying this. I'm being very honest. I'm not saying this because Abia or OBGC or a campaign manager or Teha, but I know something on
campaign manager.
I know something is going down there. Miminim. I very, 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 very serious. In the election, people should be ready for surprises. A lot of surprises.
Mate, Medase Papa Alhaji Naziru Mohammed and Yaten and Kano. Good morning, Nana Yakasi. Please ask Alhaji Naziru Mohammed if dormitories have been expanded. What about the dining hall with packed students or shifts in dining? Okay.
Those ones who are buying also a cultural say unprecedented investment at various schools in infrastructure ABCC and a ban we so air cultural say okusi or cultural say because I'm also within an institution I minimum say even when you have money to award contract I am our budget.
We're not buying bets during Adudi's era. They should just fix their problems and stop complaining. They are in power now. So which factory is producing what Alaji is saying? They are exporting. Hey, Alaji. Yo, good morning to him. Mami about downfall. Now, Mami Adwa says, oh, Alaji, not zero. You lack appreciation of many things. Dr. Baumia is the best man. No argument about that. Alaji, wow, Mami. Mami Adwa. Also need the other button. Honorable OPK, just a minute. I'll say to Apostle Willie Lamte, founder and general overseer, Kingdom Impact Ministries Worldwide. We celebrate the unction and your life. Papa, God bless you. From all loved ones, especially Pastor George Esimini and all members of Grace New Life Church. So, celebrating you and your unction this morning. Apostle Willie Lamte, founder and general overseer, Kingdom Impact Ministries Worldwide. Happy birthday, Papa, also for Yankopon Israel. Honorable OPK.
Kadna, with us, baby. I'm the Mamin Shas free. Justice Tokono in Comoa and Ayakano.
Come on, Shas, your crack of everyone.
They didn't kind, Minu and Nasiru in some of our Kabibri now.
But just a second.
Yes.
Can I agree 100% with Kabila that it was a big mistake for the minority to boycott the vetting of CJ? There are many questions their constituents and those who stand with Justice Tokonu would have liked to ask His Lordship Paul Bafuboni. By their boycott, they denied us themselves the opportunity to face off directly with the CJ. The boycott was not properly advised. In any case, now that the man is CJ, where will they take cases for judicial interpretation? Will they also boycott the Supreme Court? I agree with Kabila Ejeku in Spintex. All right.
Yes, in some way, Ejeku diabane Miss Minia Penny Kabila Ekayina. Ningna against it. Now, the American can say at the heart of this Justice Tokono issue, no. How are you as a country? You have to protect your constitution. I will do something. So we be biara. Either say oh yeah Chief Justice so, say oh yeah Justice so yeah NIA Deputy CEO, so yeah MPO, so yeah radio host o, obi biara oh yeah Ghana ni biara.
So kiki sen ukomu.
Me say. Your constitution, you know. Cardinal Article 12 no enshrine say I was here to me a protected rights.
Fundamental human rights.
Fundamental human rights, no. And sa embrano, sa chapter 5 of that constitution, Cardinal, a non-negotiable. Because a none ye na fapem, and only a dear boy who buying, and only a dear bomb and penny who buying, and only a dear bo me ma minimum price to dwemu will be biara and no near dear boy who buying. Say your rights are a war your constitution him I believe a bit me protected. Mameno or who quite so ordinary sem echo die court. Now so the nasa ma could die in court wa. Ne pepe you no even require say at least give her a hearing. The upper no. On kase wo peso dane mraro on kase wo peso bu mrebi so on kase wo peso di boni bi okromu ase o say e kwan ya modiam afaso no me feel say emfa mra kwan mu te mesere mu se mo mam yesa akwanya no na me mfa me nsem ebedadi e na me no kase ne nsem no e technicalities ukwa na akaka we ni akobo agu ni akoyese me no na siru kase ensema na odisha ECOWAS court kra no not just a open ground, yes. Yea, per Article 40 of your Constitution. Yet to say, Ghana, echo G some international treaties between we are obligated and as we are obliged to respect those treaties. As some ECOWAS court, you can say, acquire a fast with the mameno. Say, Nemamina be dying ECOWAS court to there. Obi anyone obet me akase ECOWAS court any jurisdiction say we better assembly because by Article 40 no once I age ECOWAS court no treaties na to no e was say o mutimiti assembly and that is the crash of the minority concerns in parliament say asema be nyina no ma me ni say me pese obi tie me ne oba time obi a wetimi abon ne homodin afa through the mill edru sampempenso no as Chief Justice of the Republic. In fact, Yakobe nyina no obi enu otumi kan bone baako against mami ne say mami ebu samna we sunti no enu nti ne yi no. Who can say nyina say ne challenge ni say even empaneling of court. The responsibility to empanel court no resides with the Chief Justice. The juma no. Tis oye na juma no fi say asemu ya abey, and you see judges ne o metisi nyina obi a on orientation. Obi wa asema aba purely technical. Efan say NIA akodi obi bone akopie Supreme Court. Ye behwe mu why ne kita IT background kakra why na eti even saying laws bia protecting microphone rights data protection unit kakra ningina no yehwe sa ne man no decide say who asimesi koneko gina case we so anaso obenten koneko tena ha say na mame no onye sa abone nyina na mapekoti kwan so enne a ye nyina ye bom ma ho ban am make sure say emma be come anim o Ghana say na NDC about which me mami now se muntie de keke so amon man sa akwanya na. Then there was no business for us to go and sit at the vetting. You see, once you agree say we better vetting committee na say no cardinal, once you agree say we better vetting committee na say no, then you endorse whatever is going on, especially protecting the woman's rights.
But you could have also sat in question be a woman no mumisa Muya said them more rejecting and block no in the report no mobeti means like I say minority for the monso so my boycott so that the report will be majority report and yet by consensus. For instance, me open can patch me but for instance me na my dream me say come out na question back one nanka me hwese mo bibisa ne say mo hwa his lordship and na mo misa ne say time mama me talk no asemi ba yi obi aka say wo eventual beneficiary of processes here echo nyina na asem mami yaba e de asem aba court wo na wo eventual beneficiary no what na so ama ewie ye no ekokoye 3-2 3 no so no 2 no je de na mo Kabila ka justice Henry Mensa Busuni ade 3 no wo na wo pai no ma ne be ye 3-2 knowing very well that we are eventual beneficiary of it. How do you think that is natural justice to the woman? Questions be said, but
you see, I agree, and I think that you see, by mere fact, say a vetting committee, it means that we're ready to participate in the process. That fact must be established. In fact, I can tell you, say, at a caucus meeting, we all agreed, say, we need to participate in the sittings.
Okay.
But you see, the sudden posture of the majority leader preventing
what of it was his strategy?
Well, if it's a strategy, you don't even need to give him that room. Because you see, we need to also protect the sanctity of Parliament. The issues as there is, we have raised the issues severally. Even during the debate on the floor, we raised the issues.
But Opi, I can tell you on authority, at that point, Ghanaians were not concerned about image of Parliament than the reality of the case involving Justice Tokono.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Obiani, in your opinion, that is Cardinal's opinion, that's Kabila's opinion, that's everybody's opinion. But what I also say is, we should not sit and think that the decision to walk out of that vetting process was taken lightly. I know, a lot of thinking went into it, and we did not really want to because if you are not going to give us questions, now 1-2 interjection, 1-2 interjection, 1-2 interjection, because you think you have the numbers now, then we are better off walking out of that meeting and allowing you to do what you want to do. As I see, it is clear. And again, Nibia, the teacher Rubia, Wawu or Baba would him say, the Baba no is aspiring for leadership somewhere. No, and him say, Abayambi Beba, and as Abayambi Waha, Sebu or bad to me through Kudulu Pempensobia, want to meet Obana in Kawaye Boni being poor. Kamami Tukono, why Boni being poor would understand. But that said, I'm praying, say, Abayano, and then ECOWAS court is share or dear man say on funny response in Brano. Woman nimi can form response in comma. They ensure what the decision would be from the ECOWAS court. It's about protecting people's rights and ensuring say a month for dignity any respect I gather over the years, will be respected and protected. And that for me will be my take on this matter. Alaji Eka, the commentary on the budget. Not no me one kakra. Cardinal, just last week was the last 2 weeks. MPA was vomiting 50,000 cedis to support Obo Anansi Kowu Ridge Senior High School.
Send all your MPT.
Yeah, Metiasie. Enkwalaba school. Akonia krom betranso krom ni bitranso. Enkwalaba school. Empakra ombeda so kra no omi ni bidaso. Ntina so die no da me so say e was me support. Ti say obetina say and create an impression say sadly NDC for by all problems in secondary schools have been solved. Then you are becoming disingenuous. Yeah, population grows. And school facilities will need a lot of improvements and in Yemen. But don't create an impression, say, every problem has been solved in this country. And the budget I'm going to buy.
That one's a woman. So,
oh, sir, budget I'm going to buy. Budget I'm to need resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Miriam. We share 2025 budget at to force in Becca here. Hey, now no de. First one, Obano bought yellow. Then if you say, oh, at the fufu be neighbor. Anyway, best share bo. Anyway, Kalina. So far on 2026 budget, there are some critical exposures. Before say, I was a Ghana and EBA. And this buy did you year kasiya baako a big push. Unam baby a the big push iba ya the big push by kwai ya the big push basic factory ya the big push by say ya the big push by bridge. In terms of capex, sika ye and as a capital expenditure ye the bed develop kroma say ye the be kwai any man. Projections are here in the 2025 budget Cardinal. They only released 34%. 34% of it was just released. Internet. Unam Mantrebia. Contractors say start here Juma did that will be a giant Juma. Because a buying Sika, I was a buying the chair moka, na omudio Jumano. The government decided say Nar City Allah, Omu releases says Canada. Eti atubeji na wa no yedede no yesi agrobe so efra no pa lesi kwatre kwazo be mount ma ya ti ni din wo bi a big push yedede kroma say yesi release 13 billion any ma no they were only able to pay 34% of monies to our road contractors, 34% of monies to all more AC schools, 34% to monies to all more AC hospitals. Etienne agenda 111 na ya kan ye hu de bebre a ebi na 90% complete, ebi 70% complete, ebi say no ene sa agenda ni nyina kwakoda ene budget
obi ge budget na da woni mu
ma fa budget ya scrutinize budget kan na o je budget ya wonse me de ya sheshem ma steady budget me say it is just big on sloganeering dede and a big push now and this is for so and a baby say now and this for so but the real meat ade baba dani Ghana ni abe creating nyuma ama mmebu nye biaye the teacher ni mmebu na one price anye biaye no and then this is for miss the point. There's not even a single oko under Ministry of Communications one mo de ashemu say one baba ye project bi a won say one friend no digital youth centers hub for the youth. In the 2020 budget, they made provisions for it. They could not release money. Afi, one more asa kabium say on baby releases car for those things. And you wonder, who are you deceiving? Because our programming cry, there's not even a policy framework. But you make allocations for it, 70 million. Because you want to help the young people in the digital space. But who is receiving the money? And eco cycle, busy internet, new make na emrantia, Womu here sika to develop softwares. And manti womu here sika to develop apps, no. And then this year buying my 419. But every time it finds expression in the budget. 81 pound more dada no. Nasiru. Nene ube now to create an impression say, hey, yes, the books will look good. Fish will rate you well. And all of that. When you refuse to release monies to develop your country. And the NIA, my projections are more in the 2025 budget. Sika mo ka se mo penyi na no. Wo betimi obu akase Minister of Finance e releases kano to NIA. And the community ni bebre. Me say utumi nya minister bi obetra parliament. Say parliament sitting here na be 6 hours ah. Obu na minister ti 5 hours. Obi say nko adwuma so kwa koye den. Sika na I was here to me releasing man no de kokko ye adwuma e won the ministry no. Sika na bi ni o. Sika no e bi ni o. Ya chichi de kese na dia to book mu but releasing the funds no. Emma there's not even a single road contractor in this country. Obet me sini bua ka kire yen say ndc abamba ye omo ka edemu nyina no. Yetua says kana ma wo mo. Edi sa budget we de sebi manu da sumre so kadna. Akoye anopa de akoye ze nantwibini nenim no den unya tia so ase no peche bibie nim and our projections o maya the likelihood say in the coming years can NDC for the pressure ba beto o man so especially IMF ezetia o mo be kire wo mo very high eti ye se eti bibi papa de mo ye dia create nyuma e dia ma mabunu no eno ene ye pese ye hu no me the budget na ma o kire yen baby a wo betimi create enyuma a ene maburu a team price so wo mo eti kowu wo mo e wo ye feni say o constituency wo no ablekuma wo be hu no say ene alaji na siru aban to wo ma ya ba ma wo mo no wo mo ba be create enyuma dia ma mabunu eno ane ye pe. And so if these things don't find expression in a budget, nigga say Monday dia grow big keke. And it's sad. Say who share the confidence Ghana for nyaye in the NDC government. Et to about massively for the NDC. Ne mode fasa akwan so dada me dofo dada me budget ya mode abetu enimu a ye hunu ye ho ano no. Now betina be ka say all everything is solved. Adofo o kasa no. Mami be sending message from Okansi. Also the Nebako school be one cry ya. Ya mani to mattress. Wato mattress.
Na za mattress de wona abato na kawana.
Ayi wato mattress any a year I was say nkwala no ekoda so. And so if you sit here and create the impression say even bed is solved. Nkwala no have a desk to sit on. The reality is on the ground. The Ghanaian people are listening to you. Bosha I will share one more kasa kesi amuka ya and omo to abama mo no. The reality is dawning on you. And you need to admit it, calm down, and so that the Ghanaian people will know, say, Nkrofo be dada by a bomb pie, so make my baby, am I improvement aba.
All right.
Now the final bit is on the MPP primaries, and rather the decision by the Joe Wise committee, not to allow proxy. Me feel say it's one of the best decisions on my taking.
Not to allow proxy.
Yes, because if you are not allowing proxies in 276 constituencies, I know about 40 people who on January 31st, they will not be there. 40 of my delegates. On January 31st, they will not be there. There was an attempt to ensure, say, Sankrofono, Ombetimaye proxies, no Obia to Abanama Womo. The elections committee, say, O Montiasia, me who didn't I will say to me, Daniel Maneni, I and no on one dasprano, Ebenya Quenya to Abano. Of course, Utien command Koswa. One of the decisions take here even with January 31st was that Yenyanum Bebrena, Wombaba Brunya, Abedi Christmas. It's in Omoba. Ombe train bear 1 month to be until January 31st. Now Oma to Maba and San Omako.
I've got to go.
About the same, I feel say Yankoye proxy. So Yankoye proxy. I mean, we should get to a point we can develop a system or Tiwokrana or Betuna by genuinely. Nana Bano, I reflect what I say. But see, or the Kwakomo Bino, may who be paying. Stephen Tim election 2010. Me say, ye gina park no so pa na manful cooks. amanfoɔ chefs amanfoɔ yi na ɔmo gyina hɔ na yɛto wɔn aba all in the name of say yɛto foreign branches votes with their mom. So I think the decision by Joe Wise is the best, but we need to find innovative ways to be in the near future elections. No, diaspora almost they can get the opportunity to vote and determine who leads the party or who becomes a leader in the MPP.
Okay, national, even national election, they allow proxy. Why you beat that? No problem about one. Munheni, sa proxy the same way. Makachi, munheni you. Ohobonwa yenton money.
Nana.
Yes.
Mesro, quick reaction.
No, unya reaction o
oh, mienu pet.
That share. Baku kwa unya uzi mienu.
Free SHS NDC year John Ramani Mama MPP OPG ka ho. Omo ka kire Ghana fo nyina say John Mahama ba obetwa free SHS. Metina ha ya me ka say. Wan kan chem say yetwam.
Okay.
So hu ya me ka no. Na em wan kese say free menua OPG betimi asini bo. Aka kire me ene Ghana fo nyina etie no say contractors Asia site is and say yentua.
The point noted. Yabasanya kwane akampacho. Sorry, I've got to cut you here. My time has so I've overstayed my welcome. Kokrokoo the Royal Baby is up next. Your family and I say. Me Catholic Gideon here, I mean, to bet your friend the Cardinal. Me Tremu Ghana's Morning Voice, Chairman General Kwame Sefakai, Honorable OPK, Alhaji Nazir Mohammed, and Dr. James Kwabena Jr., Madam Wasi. Na team wa shishe jumei Emma, me betremu Emma Ghana's Morning Voice, Dr. Farah Dixon, Kennedy Asante say. So for Kuja Sante, Stephen Bafo, Peter Square, Isaac Opoku, Pretty Joyce, Dominic Nyanyu, Nana Pepra, and Afi, or Hino Wakase Boahin, Nanama and not to for Udia and Kwame Yabua, na poso hima Adwa Yabua AJ, Nanaya Konedu, and Afi, Mami Biama Kwafu, Medamunina Se, Yame Eya Domoa, Yawana Dafo for Kokrokoo Mbesen, and an Emotra of Mr. Premobeto. May the radiation be Ejamunina, Magramo.
Peace FM. When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury and luxury paint. Don't be any